because I made this build by accident. I was working with Stretch 5, and I kept wanting to lower his weight, make him faster, and so he's able to dunk. And then it dawned on me to increase his weight. So as I increased his weight, I realized something that came apart, and it's mainly the fact that you're still able to move fast enough. Mind you, I also made a 7.3, a 7.2, 7.1. And once you increase the weight, like, you'll notice that you're still going to move around the same speed. Like, you can decrease the weight if you want, but it just helps the acceleration, not your actual speed. So, depending on how you're going to play, this build may help you, depending. I mean, technically, it is just for the name, but it does give you a better interior defense than you would if you lowered your weight. Now, sorry, let me skip through this because I know I'm like, hey, talking. So, I'm going to show you the stats for it, per se, and then I'll show you exactly how to make the two-way stretch 5 build. Technically, as I said, it is for the name, strike fear in people when you walk up, like, oh my god, he's a two-way, but realistically, if all two-ways that I know of, this probably has the least badges of a two-way. Like, so, defensively, if you can't play defense, I wouldn't really recommend a two-way stretch 5 for you anyway. Personally, I wouldn't recommend a stretch for you anyway if you can't play defense, because most likely, if you make a stretch, unless you make him, I guess, like a 73 ball, which in my opinion, as I said, if you're open, you'll still bang it, but, steady shooter and all those extra badges are going to be needed. Catch and shoots definitely needed, things like that. So, here and out. Yeah, right. So, and just like, I beat Anthony Davis with this, so I was kind of like feeling myself for a second. So, word up to Anthony Davis trying hard. But alright, so these are going to be all, this all starting basics. I did not put any points into it. Now, as you can see, you can bring this up to a nice little 85. That's a great three-point shot when you're talking about draining it consistently. If somebody's in your face and you have steady shooter, the amount that you lose for them being in your face is absolutely like barely nothing. As I said, your rebounding is going to be a 76. It'll increase and it will get better, and it'll be like an 80 when you're a 99. 99.9 is like an 81 defensive rebound. It's pretty good considering the fact you can put rebound trace or gold on. And then this part, the offensive rebounds. But if you're shooting the ball, you're most likely not worried about offensive rebounds. So technically, this is honestly for the park. That's just so you can grab a rebound at the park whenever you want. Block, decent block, 72. But, then these take a hit, your lateral quickness, because, as I said, he's a 7'1" big. That also helps with defense as well, so technically the interior defense being an 80, beautiful. Now you got the 85-3, you got an 89 mid. I come down to a 47 driving dunk. Now, if you know about the standing dunk, contact dunks, it's a 50 driving dunk to get it. So that means I'd have to wait till I'm a 98 or so. That's not bad considering it's a big man build. Most big man build technically don't lose out on points as often from what I see. So, it's all on where you want to go with it. Post hooks there, so if you want to have a post hook on somebody, and you have close shot instead of layup. Because if I'm in the paint, most likely I'm not driving into the paint, so it's not going to be a driving layup. Just as well as I'm not going to have to care about driving dunk, I'm most likely going to be using a standing dunk. So, those are the things. The strength ends up being at 88 when you're 7'1", and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. As you know, the grind into my career, I always recommend doing the beginning prologues because, you can get badges, you can learn your player, you can see how to play your player, and as I said, once you get like quick draw, and it's a lot easier to get badges in your career, and if you're ever going to go onto the park, as I said. But as you see the name, 2A Stretch 5, I was out here trying to build both builds and see what happened. Now, this is a stretch 4. Funny part is, even at max weight, he's not going to be a 2-way. And the reason why is kind of baffling. But we're going to go all the way back. Alright, now, originally when I first made the stretch video, I made a stretch video. I did say that I usually like using this chart. Now, if you're going to go for more of a speedy stretch, more so like, say, if you got a 7'3" center on your squad, you don't really need It's 7-2, so you don't really need the strength to battle in the boards. He has the boards. So you can go for the 58, but I noticed that there wasn't much of a difference in the chart I chose, and I chose it without vertical. Now, I only chose it without vertical because if you choose this chart, and I'm just gonna, because I can do this. I was doing this kind of fast earlier, so. Alright, now now when you make him, you go 7-1, right? Now you'll notice that when you go 7-1, you get a 50 speed. Now that's where I said going balance kind of helps. So I believe I went with the balance strength. You can go 7-2, and after that, 7-3 is like a really big hit everywhere. But as I said, you're still able to hit the 3-ball at a high rate. And if you want to go 7-3, technically it's a perfect size, but you're going to get stuck really guarding the center position. I went 7-1 because anybody who's 7-2, 7-3 is usually going to get the center over me. And then I can play in like the rec, or say if you have a pro-am team or whatever. You cannot do this build at 7 feet. Reason being, when you do add the weight all the way up, you'll stop short at 70 knots. Because of that, you're not ever going to be considered a two-way, and I realize now that to be a two-way, you have to have an 80 defense in either or. So either perimeter or interior, I'm guessing, has to be an 80. And I'm going to have to say I'm guessing because it's not really a known factor. That's why when I went for the 7-4-1, you go right about there, and it's an 80 strength in his case. So I definitely did. Hold on. So this is what I did. I went for this one because I was like, I'm 7'1". My vert really doesn't need to be that high. Yeah, if you want to snag rebounds, but let's be honest, Rebound Chaser Hall of Fame beats Rebound Chaser Gold. Rebound Chaser Gold, like if I could be, but it's like, yeah, I made this build mainly so that you don't have to waste shooting attributes because you're really a stretch. So I don't feel like you should have to waste shooting attributes as a stretch because I want to, as I say, defend and rebound. Now it is a good idea to have a good amount of defensive rebounding badges, and I do have an actual glass cleaner. And would I compare them? I'm like, to stretch the floor, I would rather prefer this guy over my glass cleaner because my glass cleaner needs certain things. Like he's going to need his badges for that. This guy really only needs quick draw, and then after quick draws there, I should be able to bang everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's a really big factor right there. Now I definitely went 7-1. You can go 7-2, and yet again you could go 7-3 if you really want to. But I'm telling you, I personally went 7-1 because I still wanted the standing dunk animations. So once you put them at 290 and that, it's an 88 strength. It's good enough where you'll get your boost, so you have a 92 strength, and then your speed might get a little boost here and there, and so certain things will end up helping you out. Not to mention, as you get down the ladder of 96, 97, you'll add an extra to all the tributes. So speed, acceleration, vert, they all get a tribute boost. That includes strength. Once you get to 99.9, you basically have a 93. You add on the other stuff, you'll have like a 96, 97 on strength, and that's perfect, realistic. Like even for speed, you'll probably have a 60 speed as a 7-foot center. That's almost unheard of without the fact that you don't even need them. Right? So, and then you can choose whichever badge you want. I went Rim Protector because, as I said, his defense is not going to be the best, but at the end of the day, when you actually do get that badge, you're unstoppable. And as you can see, bang. Now, if you know Nikola Vucevic, you know Miles Turner, and Sabonis, those are great players. So it's a good build. It's a supporting build. Technically, you can dominate in your own way, and there are times where, personally, in my career, I will feel like I am unstoppable because I can go in the paint and I can score even with low attribute finishing. You know what I'm saying? And then you get 7 finishing badges and things like that. So that's what makes it even more devastating. Now, if I want to show you the real potential behind this build, this is where it becomes, you gotta know which badges you're going to use. Me personally, um, I usually go contact finisher always. I like dunking, so if my player can't dunk, I'll be highly offended. I'm like, yo, you're 7 foot for nothing. Yeah. So I go somewhere like this, put back balls, pro touch, consistent finisher. Um, Consistent finisher and pro touch are perfect badges to have together. So if you actually have a finisher and you've ever realized, like, why is this finisher always finishing regardless of what I'm doing? Unless you're blocking that ball, if they have this and that on Hall of Fame or gold, they're almost unstoppable, because even if I do mess up on the timing, it's still like a 90, 80% chance that thing might go in still. So, you'll be like 100% covered and he still made it. Yeah, because he has consistent finisher and pro touch. Those badges, literally, I could just show you. Gives an extra shot boost for having slightly early, slightly late, or excellent shot timings. It's like, wow. Now you got penalties for missed time layups are reduced, allowing players to make layups more consistently. Go ahead and hit a late and go ahead and hit a early with somebody in your face, and you'll end up watching them joints just go in it. So the higher it is, the better, but this just gives you the boosts for it. So as a big, if you're backing somebody down, you got your back to the basket, you don't really need post moves. You just need to be able to finish close shots. Consistent finisher, pro touch, do activate. Putback boss, obviously, he's not really a rebounder, so you could also go like pick and roll or lob city, cross key score, But there's no need for Giant Slayer. Fancy footwork would be cool, but he has no actual dunk to get the fancy footwork off. I would say slithery finisher, but I'm not actually so worried about attacking the rim, because as I said, that's if I need to, I have these. If I get the opening lane to go get the offensive rebound, I have it. Now, in this case, I've been working on more so I got the catch and shoot. That's just to boost the shot up. Realistically, you can go bronze because of the fact your shot's like an 85 at the end. So you can probably go bronze, silver, you'll be fine. You don't really need to worry about it. I do use green machine because as a big, it is a little bit easier on life. I use steady shooter because of the fact of contested shots. People will be literally able to run into your face whenever. So you never know. It's always good just to have steady shooter on. If you have catch and shoot, at least silver or gold, it will basically nullify that open shots bonus that they get rid of for you. So on top of that, you get volume shooter, because if you're shooting the ball at the high clip, there you go. And I get quick draw, and now it's like, alright, so now I got one more badge I can throw around here. And I would honestly say between tireless shooter or green machine. Green machine's good because if you know your jump shot, if you get a green, it's like green, 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 be in your face. And as a big, you can hit a step back three, and it'll be like, green. Holy snap! You know what I'm saying? So those are the badges I would recommend. Take a picture, whatever you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Screenshot it, shoot. I always break starter. Once I get the rebound, I look for the furthest person out, and I chuck it. So if you're already on the break, that's how we start the break out here. Now these badges are important because as a big, it's harder to, I would say it's harder to just defend. So I personally don't recommend going the way I do with this because realistically, I want rebound chaser to battle of the bigs. Most bigs have Hall of Fame, plus they have an 80 rebound. You have a 70 something rebound. You gotta really work your way into the paint. Now you could use box, so you could take out rebound chaser, put box on, but then anybody with worms gonna tear you apart. So in this case, you have to be able to adjust however you think you can play against it, I guess. So like whatever badges you really don't need, don't worry about it. I use chase down artists so I can run faster and block the. And you honestly, like with that no vert, you get a vert boost on takeover. So it's like chase down artist, perfect. Boost the speed, leaving ability. He will jump out of the gym as a 7'1" player to swat that ball, and with this improved ability to block shots, he's just as unstoppable. Now, brick walls just for a hard screen so that they have a choice. If the little man's left on you, you can literally pop it in his face, and it probably wouldn't even. And as long as you have steady shooter, you're not going to get anything taken away from that. So, chase out artist, brick wall, intimidator on silver, even though I like it on gold, but I would say intimidator on silver. Rebound chaser is more important than intimidator. Now you could also, weigh that out on yourself, however you want to, but that's about where it would go. Badges wise, what you got? 4, 7, 9, 11, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20. So you get 20 badges with this dude as a big man. Um, I've had more badges technically, but as I said, like that was going less of a build. So this is the way you would make a two-way stretch 5. Of course, I would say, you can throw them on any team, and there are some teams there you'll be baffled about, but as a stretch, it's perfect to have it. You do take the big man out, so if it ever comes down to it, say if you play with Ja Morant and them, you take the big man out, they go to work on the inside, you stay open for the shot, you set a pick for Ja Morant, they're double teaming Ja Morant. You know what I'm saying? So, Patrick Beverly, Lou, Paul, Kawhi, this is a team where if you want to get a chip, you get a chip. Like, you know what I'm saying? That'll be the one addition to the Clippers. I get them a chip automatically over the Lakers. And again, you can play for the Lakers. Perfect. For example, you get a stretch. So two-way stretch. It's a great build. If you want to try it out, let me know. Like the video if you do use it. Subscribe if anything. I'll be dropping more builds. Every time I find a new build, I'll be dropping more. Personally, to me, this build is going to be the best representation of a Dirk build you can get. Dirk was more so just a really great 7-foot scorer. That man was a problem in Mavs history. So. Hey, thank you for the sub, my man. Thank you for the sub, my man. Alright, I got you when I'm done with this video. I got you when I'm done. Good looks, my brother. So, you know what it is, 2K fans, we out here. Thank my mans for the sub, and we out here. So, I'm about to go sub here now, actually. And get back to trying to build this player up. If I find any more builds, I will definitely set y'all up. Y'all have a good one. Enjoy y'all day.